Hi, everybody. I'm Ellie Morris, and this is What's Real in Real Estate, where we take a look at the real estate market here in Las Vegas and throughout the country, not through the eyes of a reporter who probably rents a home, but a realtor who's in the field, fighting the fight daily. And that's what I want to bring to you what's happening out there in the marketplace. Market update today. Every week I give you this, and the numbers are still low, but I will tell you we're going in the right direction. Every week for the last 3-4 weeks, our inventory has climbed. We're up to 1,892 listings, single-family homes. Now, I say we're up to, it's still ridiculously low. And our guest tonight is Ron Jacobs, and we're going to talk about how to help you maneuver through this market. But the numbers are going up. I know part of that is the springtime, and we get a few more listings. I think part of it is we're getting more people vaccinated. More people are feeling comfortable putting their house on the market and letting people come through their home. So everything's going in the right direction, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. In Las Vegas here, I'm so excited because tourism is way up. I just read this morning, and that's exciting for all of us, of course, here because Las Vegas was hit so hard during this pandemic, and hotels are now close to 95% filled on weekends. That is just phenomenal when you consider a little over a year ago, there was maybe 5%, and those people just didn't read the news. They just don't know what was going on. It's the reason they still came here. But 95% capacity on weekends. That's exciting. I wish that the Knights were playing at 95% capacity anytime because right now, man, they're struggling. They're 1-6-1 over the last 8 games. Ouch, that hurts. But I'm confident in them. I know they're going to turn it around. And you know what? If you're going to go into a bit of a slump, April is a great time to go into a slump. Come out of it, in May and be strong, be real strong come playoff time. Speaking of playoffs, I'm taking a chance of making a bet. I got my buddy on today, Ron Jacobs. Ron is probably the hardest. There he is. Ron, you're with us, Ron? Wake up, Ron. Look at the camera.
Hi.
All right, yeah. Turn your phone off and pay attention. We got you here, man, on What's Real in Real Estate. I want you guys to meet a good friend of mine. We went to Camp Tamarack together when we were 12 years old. So I've known this guy a long, long time. But when I got in the real estate business, a friend of mine and a friend of Ron's named Jeff Janet introduced us. And we did business together regularly. He's the hardest working lender I know. He doesn't know much about 3-card poker, but he's a hard-working lender. And we've become great friends. And we both from Detroit. Ron's still in Detroit. And say hello to Ron Jacobs. Ron, say hello to the folks, man.
Hello, everybody.
All right, man. We're here. Listen, Ron, we are having the same issues. We're going to talk about this in Las Vegas that you're having in Detroit and they're having in Florida. And the whole country is this low inventory. It's a challenge for everybody. And let's take a minute and talk about, well, first of all, tell everybody a little bit about you. How long you've been in the business? What's your background? Fill everybody in on you.
Okay. I've been in the business since about 1990. From on the mortgage side, I used to be in sales. Before that, for about 20 years in the consumer electronics world. And I live in beautiful West Bloomfield.
All right, man. West Bloomfield, Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let's talk about the market. Now, people are out there every day submitting offers, getting rejected, and it's a challenge for a lot of people. What can people do, in your opinion, to help them secure an offer? Any thoughts on that?
Well, 2 thoughts. One is make sure they get with me first to get all the paperwork ready. That's a key thing. We're still seeing people go out there without giving me any documents or pulling credit. So to me, first step is me before they get out there and get a real pre-approval with the documents. And then with all these properties that are out there, I'd like them to look at all properties and look at the, as I call it, the B and C properties, Ellie.
See, that's a great point. That's a great point because a lot of people are looking at the A properties, meaning the properties that are pristine and in where you're saying at the B and C properties, they may need to do a little painting, put some carpet in. It may not be exactly what they want, but they have a better
Correct.
chance, less competition there. Is that what you're saying?
Less competition. You know, you got to have a little imagination that, you know, if it's in the area, as you would say, LA, location, the cosmetics can be changed. So if they change the cosmetics and not everybody's looking at that, there's not the 20, 30 bids on that house.
Right. That's a good point because there's a lot, you know, you see a lot of homes on the pictures, and this is what I've been telling buyers lately. The pictures look like crap. Great. Let's go see the house.
That's great.
Because others might not go see that house.
And then you know, and then the sellers are more open to see people like that. They have a little imagination too.
Yeah. The other thing is you and I talked about is look at homes that have been in the market for 30 days or longer.
Correct. Because sometimes they're overpriced, and then you can go in there and not be in that bidding war, might be able to get it at that price or lower because they're a little more desperate to move the property.
Yeah, that is definitely a good point because I see some homes as I do searches, and I see some of these homes have been in the market for 45, 75, 60 days. And when you pull the comps, look, they're overpriced. There's or sometimes you see it, and this is where the buyer also needs to be flexible. You see a listing, and they make the showing almost impossible to go see the home. They're not flexible on letting people in. So if your buyer can be more flexible and work with those sellers, you got a little better chance also.
Correct.
Of getting in.
I mean, and right now in Michigan, the it's getting a little warmer out, and the people can go see homes to about 8:00 at night now,
Yeah.
where a couple months ago it wasn't that way.
What about the inventory in Detroit? What's in Michigan, Southeast Michigan? What's it like?
I mean, you gave your recap. In the three main counties in Michigan, there's only about 500 properties for sale right now.
How many?
500, one of my guys told me.
500? Hold on, 500 single-family homes for sale in the Tri-County area.
Correct. That's what he told me today.
All right, to give you guys an idea of the difference between Detroit and here, the Detroit Tri-County area makes up what we would call our Las Vegas metropolitan area. They have about 4.5 million people with 500 homes for sale. We have 2.4 million people with 1,800. So we have 3 times as many homes and half the people. So for all you folks here in Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, if you think we've got it bad, be glad you're not working and trying to buy a home in the metropolitan Detroit area.
Yeah, you got to look and put a bid on and be ready.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I talked to a lender in Phoenix, and I forget what zip code it was, but she was telling me this particular zip code in the Scottsdale area. It's a large zip code. At that particular day when we spoke, it was about 2 weeks ago, in this one zip code, there were 14 homes for sale. That's it. 14 homes in the entire.
Really?
So, do you have any idea, or what's your opinion on why inventory is so low?
Well, one is the COVID. Okay, Michigan's the highest, so people are, the medical thing's one reason, and people don't know where to, if they sell, where can they go? That's the other key thing. They put it on the market. They're afraid if they put it on the market right away, they better have Plan B ready to where they're going to move to, and they don't have that yet.
That is a problem. I had that conversation with a seller yesterday, and she really wants to move, but she doesn't know where she's going to go. She doesn't want to downgrade. She wants to stay where she, at least what she has or bigger, and doesn't want to take a chance of being out in the street.
So, they're holding on a little. The they don't know where to go, and they don't. And some of the job situation is the economy is a little up and down here every now and then. So people are holding up a little. Normally, May, June is when it really perks because of the school systems, but schools are all mobile right now. So people are holding back a little until the weather breaks. We saw, you think the number I gave you was low, you should have saw it a couple months ago when it was 20 or 30 degrees out here.
Yeah, I'll bet. Well, let's talk about something else that's important for a buyer to know about. You and I talked about this. It's gift letters. Because, today especially, if a person's putting in an offer, and it's almost impossible to get them closing costs anymore. But if they have the money for closing costs, and they need to go a little above, talk about gift letters.
Well, gift letters are, if we got to get the information from the donor, because we got to make sure if you're putting an offer and you're going to get, 10,000 over or appraisal guarantee and all your stuff, we got to make sure the borrower has the funds. If the borrower doesn't have the funds and the family is going to help, I want the bank statement so I can tell you, the realtors, both sides, that the funds are available. Gift letter, and then I give them a sample gift letter, and I send that out, and I try to get the bank statements from the donor ahead of time to verify, just like you would verify if you were doing a cash deal. That's how I look at it.
So how does a gift letter work?
Gift letter is we have a gift letter that shows the property and the loan number on it. Okay, and normally on a conventional loan, all we need the donor is going to give a gift, write a check. It's either be a certified check, it's either be cash, it's going to be a check from their bank account. And those would be the two documents needed on a conventional loan: the actual check, the gift letter, and then once the deposit's made into the borrower's account to show the new funds are available.
Now, who can give a gift?
Family.
Now, is that anybody? Can a fifth cousin give a gift, or is it limited?
Yeah, you just write. Yeah, you can put a cousin. They're not going to verify that Joe's. They're not going to verify Joe's the cousin. So, uncle, cousin, brother, sister, family. That's
anyone that's blood related. Friends can't do it.
Well, they're not going to verify, Ellie. So I don't know how to answer that, but a friend will say that they're brother-in-law. That's fine enough for us.
Okay, because that's a big thing. If you can get a gift from somebody, it's important that the person that's giving you the gift know that maybe you can pay them back. Is there any stipulation with having to pay them back, or are you not supposed? Anything with that at all?
That's between them, the borrower, and the donor. I mean, but one out of the millennials are the biggest buyers right now, and the millennials are coming out of school and not any money. So, 1 out of 3 on the millennials are getting a gift.
Oh, really?
It's bigger than you think that the gifts are not being done. It's done every day, especially for the young folk. So, FHA, you need more documentation than conventional.
What do you sell out there more than anything? Is FHA's biggest loan for you?
Conventional.
Conventional. Now there's not a lot of VA out there in Detroit, is there?
No. Nope. Not. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. I do 1 or 2 a quarter on VA, and you told me you're doing almost every. You're doing 3 or 4 a month.
Yeah, it's different out here. All we ever had out there was Selfridge Air Force Base. Is that even still around?
Yeah, they're on the east side. Yeah, but there's not a lot of vets in Michigan. I mean, it's conventional and FHA are the key in the loan limits. Both went up on both, so I think FHA's loan limit now in Michigan is 350 something. I'm looking at the numbers, 356, and the conventional loan is 548. So those are the loan limit size. So, and then jumbo's after 548.
So if somebody takes, let me ask you this, because this is a good topic for people to understand. If somebody wants to buy a home in that $500,000 to $600,000 range, if they finance below 548, it's still a regular conventional loan.
Yeah, and then a lot of more programs are available other than jumbo. Jumbo might score a little higher down. If you're under loans, you get some programs in the 3 to 5% minimum down. So, 20% or 20% of 500,000 and 3% is a big difference on those dollar amounts. So you want to if you can get the loan amount under 548 and get into the Fannie and Freddie guidelines, that's the key. It's the loan amount. You might be able to sell them a $600,000 loan, and and the loan amount's 548. That's where I would try to put it.
Okay.
It's not the dollar price.
Yeah, that's good to know. The other thing I want to talk about for a minute is that when a buyer writes an offer with you, do you ever call the listing agent or have the listing agent call you, talk to the listing agent about the quality of the buyer?
I encourage it. I call them, they call me. I want them to be confident that the deal is going to go through. And I tell them that I have the documents, and we can run things through our desktop engine with an approval without a property. So we use that a lot too. But I encourage the agents to call me, and I call them too when we're in a bidding war. And I know a lot of them, and they know if they've done work with me over the years that my word's good and the deal's going to close.
Yeah, I'll say this again for you folks back in Detroit, man. I'm telling you, I don't know anybody that works as hard and as diligent as Ron. You can call this son of a gun at 9 o'clock at night. He's answering his phone on weekdays and weekends, the whole thing. I've told him many times he's got to slow down a little bit or he's going to start losing his hair. You see, he didn't listen to me. But that's okay, man. That's good for the realtors and the buyers out there to have someone like Ron working with them. So what is going on other than that in Michigan right now? Is the state opening up at all?
A little, but like I told you earlier, they're going to start shutting it down a little more. It opened up, and now the COVID went so high, they're going to start shutting it down, they say, in the next week.
Oh, man. I know our numbers, I noticed, I've been reading the last couple of days, this is like the third day in a row that our numbers are going up after like almost a month of them going down every day. So we're not out of the woods yet, that's for sure.
No, we're not out of the woods. And they said a lot of people went to on Easter break and came back and brought it back.
Yeah, you vaccinated?
Yes, I'm done.
I think that makes a big difference. If we get more people vaccinated, it's going to definitely, I think it's going to make a difference. But who knows?
Who knows? I mean, they started opening up little open houses too. They weren't allowed for a while, but I don't know what it is out your way, but there hasn't been many in the last 2 or 3 months. But
okay,
what's your feeling on that?
Well, we're back to having open houses. Now, what we're doing is I got a gal I'm working with. She does open houses regularly. We only allow so many people, like 2 families could come in at a time. Other people have to wait outside, which with our weather isn't that big a deal. But we're back doing open houses full force again, where we had that shut down for a while, but that was a governor edict. Now we can do them all we want, and we're doing them.
Oh, yeah.
But, you have to wear a mask, got a social distance. We always have masks, extra masks there for people. We always have the hand sanitizer. And, of course, we're very diligent about that. But at least we're able to do that again and give people a chance to go out and look at some homes. I'll tell you what's going on now in our market, which is really interesting. And people putting a home on the market, they're listing it, say, on Thursday. And they're telling everybody no showings until our open house Saturday from 10 to 1. And then we can do, we'll take showings. Or Saturday, I saw one for a buyer today. They won't do any showings, one-on-one showings until Monday because there's nothing today. Tomorrow and Sunday, they're open from 10 to 5. And that's it. And you know what's happening? They're going to get that pent-up enthusiasm, and people are going to go and see it. They'll get all their offers. They'll never have to do a showing at all. So that's becoming real common out here. And I had the same thing happen with a listing I took last weekend, 2 weekends ago. We put it up there, priced it accordingly, and listed it on a Thursday. No showings until Saturday. Saturday 10 to 1. That was it. We were done. Yeah.
And then tell me your feeling on home inspections.
Well, of course, obviously, a person would be crazy not to get a home inspection. They're going to, spend, $300,000-$400,000. A home inspection costs them maybe $350. With a pool, maybe $550. But why? Are you seeing people waive the home inspection out there?
I'm a big believer in the same as you, but you're seeing some offers out there waiving home inspection, and why?
That's the best money you can spend, in my opinion.
Everybody.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, we're not seeing that out here yet. Thank goodness. I hope it doesn't ever happen to that. But yeah, home inspections are critical. It gives the buyer a chance to look under the rug, behind the walls, and on the roof, and get an idea of just what they're buying. So, like we talked about earlier, the B and C properties, especially, they need that home inspection because you don't know what's going on there. And it costs a fortune. Let's face it. You buy a home, and all of a sudden you find out once you move in that the HVAC is ready to go. You're talking $5,000, $6,000, $7,000.
Yep.
And most of these folks that are buying these B and C properties, they don't have that extra money laying around. So they're going to sweat their tail off it all summer or freeze it in the winter. Yeah. So I'm glad we're not seeing that, but I'm sorry to hear that about. That's not good.
And then you're seeing a lot of appraisal waiver, or are you seeing that a lot in Vegas or no?
On almost every single offer, the person that's getting the winning bid is not only waiving the appraisal.
I mean, a guarantee.
Yep.
Appraisal. Yep. For how much?
Well, I had one that just recently, $40,000.
Okay.
$40,000. Now it is crazy, and that's again the part of the problem. But I see a lot. I just put an offer in for a young man. This poor guy's been trying like heck. He's a veteran, looking to get his first home, and he can't afford to do more than $10,000. He can go. He'll waive the appraisal up, but he can only cap it at $10,000. He's getting beat out every time. People are coming in and guaranteeing $20,000, $15,000, $25,000. So this young guy is just having a heck of a struggle. But I give him credit. I told him, whatever you do, don't stop putting in offers, and he's not. We're putting in a bunch, and at some point he'll find the right property where there's not a million offers, and his $10,000 over to cover the appraisal will work.
You're getting that on a lot of your deals, huh?
Almost every one.
Interesting. I won't say that here. I will not say that here, but
I'm surprised with such low inventory.
And what about your thought on your when you have the buyer on sale by owners?
We have so few for sale by owners out here. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a for sale by owners sign in a year. I know they're out there, but I haven't seen one in I don't know how long. They don't really. Okay. What we have out here, do you have Open Door and OfferPad?
No.
You don't? Okay.
What is that called?
Open Door and OfferPad.
No.
You've not heard of them?
No.
They look for iBuyer. They go out there and they'll put a bid on your home, and they'll make it a clean deal. They'll underbid everybody. So are getting it at a great price. But what it is some people figure, you know what, I just want the convenience, and they think they're saving money, but in the long run, it's actually costing them more because these companies have high fees, a lot of hidden fees that when they come out, they're just exorbitant. But I didn't know you didn't have that. You have Redfin out by you? You have Redfin?
What's that?
Redfin?
I don't see him. Redfin, I don't see that.
Yeah, interesting. That's real interesting. I didn't realize that. Yeah, let's face it, they are different markets. Detroit, it was founded in 1701. Las Vegas in 1905. So that 200-year difference, it's just a different market entirely.
Well, you work both, so you know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was. It's interesting. We're getting a huge influx of buyers from California. As a matter of fact, I think last time I saw, of all the people, not counting the people who live in Las Vegas, of all the people that are moving from one state, whatever state it may be, to Southern Nevada, 49% of them are coming out of California. So that's a big part of what's also causing our market to be short on homes. And for I don't know how many months in a row we set another record. Our average price per home is up to $363 now. What is the average price per home in your market? Do you know?
I would say under 200.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a crazy time. There's no question about that. But we've been in this business a long time. We've seen ups and downs. We'll weather this storm, and we'll get through it and back onto a more normal market, and I hope sooner than later. But in the meantime, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you get it, but you got to know how to talk to the millennials too. I don't know. That's a big buyer situation? Or are you getting more of the second and third time buyer in your area?
We're getting both. We're getting a lot of first time home buyers, and of course, a lot of move ups and move downs. Okay. So it's a big mix.
But in the new world we're in, you better text them, answer them, email them quickly.
That's the key. Yep, I'm with you. That is so important. I took a listing, and there were a lot of people that I was in competition with, and I asked the gal, "What's the reason you chose me over the other people?" I was curious. She goes, "You're the only one that picked up the phone and called me. Everybody else sent a text or an email. I'm old like you, old school and old both. Yeah. I pick up the phone and call a person."
Yeah, we pick up the phone and talk. You're right.
Yeah, big difference. I know. Look, I text all day long, as do you, but there's definitely some merit in just picking up the phone and calling somebody and saying, "Hi, my name's Ellie. I'm blah blah blah." I think people find some comfort in that. It's easier to explain yourself over a phone call than a text.
And then the other thing with these buyers, I encourage to meet them. It's been a little creative in the new world. I've met more people in the office than anybody, but now I'm meeting people at Staples, okay, or a park. If they want to meet me face to face, I got to be a little creative, and it's working.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, if they don't have access to make copies or anything, or meet, it's worked. So they go, where'd you come up with those ideas? And I go, I don't know, But old school still works, Ellie.
I agree with you, Ron. All right, we're going to wrap this up now. We're getting close to the 11 o'clock hour. Take a few minutes real quick. Tigers, they're going to be in last place again this year?
No. Second to last.
All right, second. That's an improvement. Lions, they're going to have a good draft?
Good draft. 8-8 this year. 8-9.
You are a homer, man. And are the Pistons and Red Wings ever going to get it back together?
Pistons first.
Pistons? Oh, really? Okay.
Pistons. Their coaches. Casey's a good coach.
Yeah.
Red Wings still need a little time. They're still on that stage.
Are the fans in Detroit still behind Stevie Y?
I think so, but they know he needs time. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't have the staff right now or the players.
All right.
That's
How's the weather out there? Is it cold and snowy today?
No, it's 70.
Beautiful. All right, Ron. Hey, listen, for those folks that are watching, especially those back in Michigan that want to get a hold of you, give them your name, your company, and your phone number to get in touch with you.
Sure. Ron Jacobs, Capital Mortgage Funding, 248-821-7020. Email rjacobs@capitalmortgage.com.
All right, brother. Thanks for coming on. And just one last little tidbit about Ron and I. Since I've been in Vegas for almost 15 years now, each year we toss in $100 a piece and bet football. And we stink. But we have fun with it, don't we?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with it.
Hey, man, thanks a bunch for coming on, Ron. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll see you in person one of these days soon.
All right. Thank you for the time, Ellie.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye. Everyone, we'll see you next week. We've got Billy Alt, former president of VA Rep, and the head of Rebuilding Together. We're going to talk about that next week. Have a great week. Be safe. Have fun. Bye-bye.